where we can
Um,
find you on the app.
I'm Sammylicious. I don't stream at the moment, but I will be making a comeback soon, sometime. Don't know yet. I admin for Wolfie's show Test Your Luck every Monday at 9 p.m. And I also admin for a Top Badge Italian Chicas feature show every Saturday at 9 p.m. Yeah, it's pretty much.
Okay,
And sorry if you guys hear my little Yorkie in the background barking. I apologize now.
that's okay. That's okay. So, segment one, realizing you had stopped trusting yourself. When exactly did you realize that you had stopped trusting yourself? Was it one moment or was it something that snowballed and you just kind of looked back and went, oh,
I didn't realize it until after I left my abusive relationship.
fair, fair.
Like I,
Um,
when during the healing process, I was like, "What the duck was you doing? You knew better. You should have went with your gut instincts." But sometimes it just happens.
maybe later this is a show that is segmented and set up with guests that are curated beforehand. So I know for me, I had spent a long time not trusting myself. And I realized after I left my abuser,
Hmm.
I was like, oh, this is what trusting yourself actually looks like. Um, Before that realization, what did trusting yourself mean to you? Did you grow up with the ability of trusting yourself or being encouraged to trust yourself at all?
Before getting with my abuser, I felt like I was too trusting in myself. Like I didn't let nothing get in the way. Like I was I was a little meanie because I was too trusting in myself. And it wasn't because I wanted to be mean, it was because I was protecting me. But
I absolutely get that. I feel like now I can be a little mean, a little standoffish because I trust myself so much that if I get bad vibes from someone, I'm immediately like, I'm
yep.
done. I'm out. I don't need you in my life.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to a place or a time where I no longer trust myself and I have to question myself. And no, I've worked too
Same,
hard to get to where I'm at now.
same. And the crazy thing is for me, I grew up in a household that absolutely tried to encourage me to trust myself and trust my intuition and trust those gut instincts. And then I met my abuser and all that went out the window. And
It's so funny
I
because I grew up
spent,
in a household watching my mom not trust herself, giving
oh,
everyone the benefit of the doubt, believing everything. And I think growing up, that's what pushed me in trusting myself even more because I seen what my mom, I don't
you
want to say put
overcorrected a
herself
little
through,
bit.
but allowed people to
Yep.
suck that energy from her. She didn't realize it at the time. But then I lost the trust in myself later in
It
life.
happens. It happens. I think, especially abusers have a way of worming their way into it's
Hmm.
called love bombing,
Hmm.
where they act like they're putting you on a pedestal when in reality they're putting you on that pedestal in preparation of knocking you down.
And on that pedestal, they're putting chains in your ankles, on your wrists. They're putting you in a dark room. There's nothing there. You can't speak to anyone. You don't have anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What kinds of situations made you doubt yourself the most? Relationships, work, creativity, your body, your emotions? I have a hair. There we go.
Um, Relationships, and not just like um love relationships, family relationships, friend relationships, because I just like to believe in people. I also struggle still with giving people the benefit of the doubt and always wanted just to see the good that I've always seen in them.
Makes
I
sense.
never want to see that one negative thing. But then I'm teaching myself to realize there's so many more of those negative things. You're just overseeing them because you just want to continuously see the good in people. And I just have to trust myself. Like, it's okay to walk away. It's okay for you to trust your instincts, for you to trust you and set those boundaries. It's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think relationships were definitely where I doubted myself the most when I wasn't trusting myself. And exactly like you said, it was not just my relationship with my abuser that I wasn't trusting. It was actually I trusted that relationship more than I should have. And it was all the other relationships that I was like, oh no, I don't know who my mom is. And my mom's this horrible person. And I'm like sitting here being told that my mom's this horrible person when she hasn't been my entire life, but I had gotten so wrapped up that I was believing it. And so, I didn't know what relationships to trust other than the one with my abuser. I didn't trust the one with myself, most definitely, and definitely with anybody else.
I can agree with that. And I think it's a way our abusers got a hold of our emotions, our feelings, because she would tell me, they're not your friends. You can't trust them. Do you see what they're doing? Do you see what they're saying to you? When in reality, they were the people I should have trusted
Yeah,
because
absolutely,
they had my best interests at heart, but I didn't realize that because I wanted
absolutely.
to give all my trust to this one person.
We we tend to think that if someone has our best interests at heart, that they're going to be kind, and that's not always the truth. Sometimes cruelty is kindness. Sometimes
That tough
it
love.
takes exactly, it takes that tough love to turn around and say, "Hey, look, you're in a bad spot. You need to get out of it for whatever reason." Did you notice yourself constantly asking others for validation, and what were you hoping they'd give you? Or reassurance? I know I was always asking my ex for reassurance. Um, I was I was hoping he would give me that reassurance of not validation, of no, I'm not cheating on you. No, I'm not out drinking all our money. No, I'm not doing this. No, I'm not doing that. I was hoping for that reassurance, and all I got was validation of, no, yeah, I am cheating on you. Oh, yeah, no, I spent $300 today on alcohol. So,
I've never looked in it from I never looked for it in my abuser. Um, for my situation, I looked for it in my family. Like me leaving my abuser, was it the right thing? Did I make the right choice? Like, was this the smartest way to go about it? Because I didn't have that trust in me that I made the right decision.
fair, fair. I think that trust comes later, you
Now I
know.
need the validation. I know what I did was the
Yep,
best.
yep. What is something that you ignored your instincts about and later realized that your gut was absolutely spot on for?
Um, It makes me laugh. My abuser um, was very friendly with men, who quote unquote stated she was a lesbian, very flirtatious. And I was like, maybe, that she's really good friends with them. Like, she's joking around, like, it's nothing. No, no. I left her,
Yeah.
and she's no longer a lesbian. She's straight in a relationship with men and was doing it before we even ended the relationship. And I should have just, I seen the signs, but then I told myself, there's no way we're together. There's no way she's into men. Like, there's no way. Like, she dresses like a tomboy. There's absolutely no way. No.
You talk yourself into believing their lies because it's
Mhm.
easier. I know with my ex, I ignored the. There were several times that I ignored my instincts of thinking that he was cheating, and after we split up, I remember there was this one evening we were in an argument, and I said, do you even know how many times you cheated on me? And he said, honestly, no. And I was like completely blown away because I was like, I should have trusted my gut. I should have trusted my instincts. I should have, when I said something doesn't feel right and he said everything's fine, he was lying. I should have walked away years ago. Um, if you are just tuning in, you are watching What It Really Takes. And today we are talking about what it really takes to trust yourself. We just finished the first segment about realizing self trust was missing in the first place. Sometimes that is due to someone else's abuse. Sometimes that's just due to self confidence issues. Um, but either way, once you realize it's missing, you have to do something about it. So, coming up next, we're going to be talking about what it really takes to rebuild trust with yourself after years of doubt or guilt or fear or outside pressure. And if you'd ever like to be on a show, please hit me or Emoji J up on Instagram or here on the app. I'm going to go ahead and have you hop on down and we'll have Italian Chica hop on up. And hello, everybody in the meantime that has entered in that I have not been able to say hi to. Hello, Italian
I'm
Chica. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Why don't you tell ourselves, tell us about yourself first.
Okay. Um, about myself, as far as streaming, I have my featured show every Saturday, Chica's Clown Down. Yes, I'm Sammy's boss. No, she's great. She helps me out. She's one of my admins, mainly the comments. But yes, I have that every Saturday at 9 p.m. And I've slowed down a little bit on the featured shows that I do. And I just mainly stream during the week and a little bit in the evenings. That's about it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, your show's pretty fun. I've watched it. If I had more uh, self confidence, I think more and more of an ability to do like impromptu things and think on the fly. I would love to do your show. I know you give some time to work on it, so I've been thinking about doing it. Um, but let's go ahead and dive in just to start off. What was the first thing that you did after you realized that you had lost trust in yourself to rebuild that trust? Was it something big, something small?
I guess just after a long time of being a single parent, and doing everything on my own, just learning to trust my gut and not have to ask my parents for like validation because I don't have like that other person to ask, like as a spouse or a boyfriend or whatever. Learning to make decisions on my own, and not having to ask others what their opinions are. Should I do this? Should I do that? Yes, I still do that sometimes, but I've gotten a lot better at trying to figure things out on my own.
Fair, fair. I think for me it was both something big and something small. The something big was leaving my abuser, um, moving 2 states away and starting my entire life over. But the something small was this one specific moment when we were moving. It took us 6 days to drive from Southern California to Northern Washington. Should only take you 2 days if you're driving straight through, or and you're taking, a sleep break. Um, but it was me, my 2 kids, 2 cats, and a dog. So we were making a bunch of stops. And there was one time that we were driving up the coast of California, and I saw this patch of wildflowers, and I thought, oh, I'd really love to stop and pick some of the wildflowers. And then I thought, why don't I just do what I want to do? And part of it was, not trusting myself that it was a good idea. You're on the side of a highway. Um, but I woke up my kid and we picked some flowers, and then we looked across the way and we realized there was a beach. So we drove up a little ways and parked somewhere safer and went down to the beach. And it was something that I know I'll never forget, and I don't
Mhm.
think that they'll ever forget. Um, that just was a core memory for them. And had I not trusted myself, I would have never helped to create
Yeah,
that. Did setting boundaries play a role in learning to trust yourself? And were there people that didn't like those boundaries?
definitely. As far as, sorry, it's hard because my daughter's playing her tablet loud in there. It's hard to concentrate. I guess the boundaries, like, I guess for an example, my dad, he hasn't really been around, but he's very strict. Like he's very old school. Like he doesn't agree with anything that I do. So I've learned to not explain anything to him of what I'm doing. If he finds out later, then he finds out later. So um, setting boundaries as far as not having to tell him everything that's going on. And that really has bothered him, or I'll ignore his questions. So that's like a big part, mainly with him. My mom doesn't really bother me. She's just over, she's like, you're almost 40 years old. I don't have to ask you what's going on. You'll let me know. But
Yeah,
yeah, just learning what information to divulge to my father. So pretty
fair,
much.
fair.
Yeah.
Um, I think the only person that really was not happy with me setting boundaries was my ex. So I, wasn't really upset with him being upset. So I didn't mind. Everybody else, I set these boundaries and they were like, okay, we were waiting for you to do that. I had a lot of support and people in my corner that I couldn't have gotten out of my situation had I not had. How do you tell the difference between intuition and fear? And do you still struggle with that sometimes?
I definitely still struggle with that at times. Um, for an example, um, my last apartment I just left, there was in the beginning when I first moved there, issues with mold. and they claimed that they had fixed it or whatever. Well, I was just gonna stay and just like, oh, I don't want to move everything. I'll just stay here. But that's like all our health. If I was just to stay
Yeah.
there and not really move everything and go to a new place. So I almost did stay, and I almost like fell into that, oh, I'll just stay, it's not a big deal. But no, I knew inside that I was like, I have to leave. Like, it's not good for any of us, mental health, physical health, anything. So that was a big decision I had to make.
Yeah. Yeah. I think for me, I definitely still struggle with it because like I get anxiety over certain things and I have PTSD, so like that gets triggered. But I've learned to be able to tell the difference. There's there's like intuition for me is this feeling deep within my body. And fear
Yes.
is more this like uh my chest feels like it's on fire and like
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, if my chest feels like it's on fire and it doesn't feel deep, then I need to push through that. It's just fear talking.
Hmm.
Um, but I definitely still struggle with telling the difference between the two sometimes because they are very similar, very similar. And with my PTSD and anxiety, it can kind of cross the line into being one or the other. It's like it's a what is the fine line that
Hmm.
same side of a different coin.
Hmm.
What habits or patterns did you have to unlearn to trust yourself more? Um, People pleasing, perfectionism, needing that external validation.
Definitely people pleasing. A lot of my last relationships were that way. Um, Even when I just throughout my life, just meeting new people, becoming friends with them, just people pleasing. It's really hard for me. I still have a hard time getting over that. It's just something I've done like my whole life. But I've been trying to get better with that because with people pleasing comes with people abusing that from you. Definitely a lot of emotional struggle with that. And then obviously needing the external approval. I love my mom and I don't do it as often, but I always feel like I can go to her and ask her, but sometimes she'll just say, you got this, you figured it out all the other times. So there's still like a little bit of a struggle there to try to figure that out on my own sometimes. So.
Yeah, I definitely needed to unlearn people pleasing and to unlearn the external validation seeking. Um, I did a lot of that with my ex. It would be like something as simple as cleaning the house. And he comes home and he doesn't say anything about it. But when it's not clean,
Mhm.
I would never hear the end of it.
Right.
And I kind of grew out of that and I kind of said, okay, um, that external validation seeking needs to stop. I need to be pleased with whatever I'm doing myself and
Hmm.
not look for it elsewhere.
Right.
Was there a moment that you finally thought, oh, maybe I do know what's best for me? What did that moment look like?
Um, I guess the moment where I really stopped divulging so much information to my dad because it was such a stress for a long time. And now, me, without explaining everything to him, every single thing that happens, I'm not nearly as stressed. I'm happy with my decisions. Um, he's not blowing up my phone. Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? You should have done this. Like a whole list of text messages. Like it's so nice not to have to deal with that. I mean, still, I get it sometimes, but it used to be every day and stressful. But just allowing myself to, not express everything to
Yeah,
him.
yeah. I think, trying to think if there was a moment that I thought maybe I actually do know what's best for me. And I think it would probably be um, after, like, when my divorce was finalized, because I had made the interesting decision to go up against my ex, who had a lawyer, by myself with no lawyer.
Mm.
And I wound up winning. And it was that moment that I just went, oh, okay. So maybe I do know not only what's best for me, but what's best for the kids. And other people can recognize that.
Right.
If you are just tuning in, this is what it really takes. And today's conversation is about trusting yourself. We are talking with Top Badge Italian Chica, and Sammy Licious is in the comments. We've talked about where self doubt comes from and what rebuilding self trust actually looks like in real life. Not the polished version, the real version. And don't forget, top gifter of the stream will get their name in lights on my scrolling marquee. We've got one more segment coming up. What changes when you finally start believing in yourself again? And again, if you'd like to be on the show, please hit me or emoji J up here or on Instagram. Thank you for requesting the box, Sammy. You're on top of it. I didn't even have to ask you.
I know Q word. I'm like, okay, next topic. Let's go.
So, both of you, we'll go with Italian Chica first. How has your life changed since learning to trust yourself more? Is your relationship with your dad different? Is it happier? Is it, I know you said it's less stressful, so I would assume it's happier.
It's happier that just not having to discuss things with him, and I can just, figure stuff out on my own and not have to. It's Yes, definitely not as stressful. It's a lot nicer. A
That's good.
lot
It,
nicer.
it, it lets you enjoy the relationship a little bit better, you know?
Oh yeah,
What
definitely.
about you, Sammy?
Um, I don't have to deal with. I don't have to deal with toxic people anymore. I just move on, let it go. I'm not allowing
Very
that
true.
stress to consume me and drive me maybe to the loony bin if I didn't trust myself.
Yeah. I would say my relationships are definitely different now that I trust myself more. I don't have a relationship with my dad anymore because I trust myself in that I know what's best not only for me and my mental health, but for my kids. One of my kids is trans, and my dad just does not understand that.
Mm.
And putting them in the same room would cause nothing but harm to my child.
Mm.
So I've definitely changed my relationship there, but my relationship with my mom has changed so much since leaving my ex because when I was with my ex, he had me confused and thinking that my mom was the narcissist and my mom was the abuser. And
Mm.
now that I'm away from him, it's like my mom and I have this completely different relationship that is so much healthier. So much healthier. Do you think trusting yourself changes the way that you handle failure, Sammy, and how?
Why you gotta put me in the spot for? Um, I don't take anything as a failure. I take it as a lesson. Um, Trusting myself has taught me I don't learn as many lessons anymore. I don't put myself through those traumas anymore because I'm trusting myself and I'm trusting my gut. I'm trusting my intuition. Prior, I wasn't trusting myself, so I was having to learn those lessons. It was like my consequence for not trusting myself and not knowing I had to trust what's in front of me, what's at hand.
Yeah,
So that's pretty much, I don't want to learn no more lessons. Those are hard lessons to learn.
they are. They are. What about you, Chica? Do you think that trusting yourself has changed how you deal with failure?
Definitely. Um, this past fall, I went through a really bad breakup, but I decided to end things. So me knowing that it wasn't good for myself, for my kids, for where I was living. So it was still hard, but I made the right decision by ending it all. So, but yes.
Okay. I think like if I fail at something and it's something that I can stand failing at, like a new craft or something, um, it's one of those moments where I'm just like, okay, well, this is not for me. And I just leave it alone. But if it's something that I really want to learn, or that I really want to do, and I trust myself in that it's something that I should learn or should know how to do, then I don't accept failure. Um, I keep trying, I keep persevering. I don't just roll over and play dead. Um, so that's for me. What is something that you say no to now that you used to tolerate, Italian chica?
Um, I guess it'll be like different favors and stuff that people will ask for, either with my time, or if I have like $10 left in my name till payday, and they're like, "Oh, can I borrow $5?" Like, if I don't have it for myself, then I definitely can't share with somebody else. So that's been hard for
Fair
me
enough.
to, it's a part of the people pleasing thing, but just knowing that, yeah, I just don't have it. I can't help you. I don't have the time. I don't have the extra funds, whatever the case may be, saying no. So,
Fair, fair. What about you, Sammy?
I agree with Tony and Chica. I no longer bend over backwards. I no longer pour into someone's cup who isn't pouring into mine when I know mine is like almost at empty. I no longer jump. I've always been a people pleaser and I've always jumped at any expense, at any cost, no matter if I'm hurting, if I just had massive surgery, I always put everything I've always put everything else before me. And now it feels good to say no. It feels good to say I can't. So no, no, and some more ducking no. Quack quack. Shh, shh, shh. You were behaving so well. Shh, 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 shh.
Was that difficult at first, Sammy?
What felt difficult at first?
David ate them. You took
What
them.
was it difficult at first to say
Because
no?
I was such a
Get
people
out. I'm gonna
pleaser, I
shut
feel
up.
like I was letting them down. I felt guilty because I was like, but if I can't do it for them, like this could potentially happen. Like who else is gonna show up for them? No one else ever showed up for them. I'm always the one that's falling through, coming through. Like if it was money, they may not have nothing to eat. They may not. I had to remind myself they're not my children. They're not my responsibilities. I am my own responsibility. I can't take on everyone else's
Absolutely.
issues, whatever anyone wants to call them. when I'm dealing with my own, and I can't I can't put my baggage onto someone else, but someone else could have always put theirs on me, and I've always just carried it. So for me, it was just feeling guilty for saying no or saying I can't.
I would have to agree. That is definitely something that I say no to now that I used to tolerate was the guilt trips. Like I used to tolerate the guilt trips. I used to uh, let myself be manipulated, quite honestly. And um, I think it it was a little difficult for me to start saying, no, I'm not going to let you manipulate me by guilting me into doing this because there's a very empathetic part of me that's like, oh, but what if they don't have anybody else to do that? Or what if they don't have, like Sammy was saying, what if they don't have anybody else to help them out? I had to get real comfortable with the saying, what is it? Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Mm.
And I had to say, you know what, it's me and my kids now. And if I'm not taking care of them first and foremost, if I'm not putting them first, no one is.
Hmm.
And that's not okay with me. Um, so it was difficult at first, but it became easier as time went on, that's for sure. What is something that you finally allowed yourself to pursue once you trusted yourself, Italian Chica?
Um, well, I'm sorry, which one was it again? Sorry, I got my son squealing in the back. I'm trying to.
Sorry,
What is
Spencer's not
something
helping.
that you allowed yourself to pursue once you
Oh, okay.
trusted yourself?
Um, Something that I pursued. Um, Trying to think.
I can go
Something that
first
I.
while you're thinking.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So for me, it was after I left my abuser. I believed that I would never get back on my feet. When I left my abuser, I left the home we purchased together. I left my whole life behind. I moved back to New York City, and I never believed that I would get back on my feet, that I would have my own again. And little did I know, if I just trusted myself, it was all possible. I started trusting myself again, and it's possible. I have my own place now. I may not have a house, but
But you have a roof over your
continuously
head.
trusting myself will take me to the next step and take me to the next step and take me to the next step. And I think my biggest issue is when I don't trust myself, I am neglecting myself. I am my worst enemy to myself. But
Fair
I
enough.
got my own place again, y'all. It's been 2 years. Feels amazing.
That's
That is
great.
amazing. Italian Chica?
I guess for me, it was beginning, well, it was like springtime of 2024. And at the time, I had to move in with my best friend for almost a year to kind of save back up to get back on my own again. And just to get to that apartment again, it was nice to have my own space because I was very thankful my best friend let me stay with her, but she had her children, she had her animals and her boyfriend, so it was like a lot. So it was great to get back on my own, but now we have our place again. There's none of those issues like I was just discussing a little bit ago. So just being able to be on my own again after other issues I had
We
prior.
have similar. We have the same
Hmm.
story. Like we didn't trust ourselves, so we doubted ourselves.
Hmm.
That we can never, or that we're not capable, or we don't deserve it. I'll
Yeah.
remind you every day, Chica, to trust yourself
Definitely
I
probably need
think
that
for
reminder.
me,
because I love you.
I love you too.
Y'all heard
I
it
think
here.
for me, I
Y'all heard it here, right? That's evidence. That's proof.
yes,
She loves you.
evidence.
Mhm.
And Emoji J is recording, so there's that. I think for me, I was able to pursue. I'm pursuing a career for myself. Um, I have a big fear of success in addition to failure. My biggest fear is that like I'll succeed and I'll get popular in say my photography, but my health will decline and I won't be able to do it anymore. Or that I'll start selling all my shawls and then they'll all be gone and I'll have to make them as fast as possible and people will be frustrated because they have to wait or whatever. I've always had that fear of success and it's like now I'm done being scared of succeeding. I'm done being scared of having a career that I love, that isn't just a job to me. Um, and I think that once I trusted myself, it was way easier to pursue that because before then it was a lot of self doubt, a lot of negative talk in my head from my ex saying, this is a dumb idea, this is not going to work, this is nobody's going to buy your product, nobody's going to buy your services or what have you. What does trusting yourself actually look like day to day now? Is it confidence? Is it peace? Is it just not abandoning yourself anymore? What about you, Sammy?
It's not allowing anyone to interrupt my peace, which means ignoring, not giving them the energy they want, not responding back. Um, just knowing that it's not worth my energy. It's not. Before I was really quick to like snap or defend myself. And I told myself, if I know it's not true, then it's not true. I'm not wasting my energy. Um, I trust that I'm making the right decisions.
Okay.
And if I'm not, I need y'all to wake me up and remind me.
I guess for me, the confidence in knowing I'm making the right decisions and um, I guess not really like overthinking. Sorry with all the traffic sounds. I'm
That's
a
okay.
I'm a big worrier. Like I'm trying to still work on that, but just knowing, confident, knowing I'm making the right decisions for myself and my kids, just knowing that I am. So
I think for me, a day to day is it's definitely peace. I feel much more peaceful, and my mom asked me that. She asked me, what's changed in the last couple of years because we had gone through a time where we weren't talking, and then we got back together, and she said, things have changed. I said, I'm at peace. I just I love my life. I'm content with it. I get to do what I want, when I want, how I want, for the most part. Yeah, certain things I have to save money for, but I can save that money now. It's not, being put towards alcohol or whatever hobbies that I don't agree spending money on. but you know, sports games and things like that. It's just it. I'm able to put money into my business. I'm able to confidently say no, thank you, that's not for me, or yes, please, I'd love to do that. That day to day piece of being happy in my own skin is what it looks like for me. Um, let's see here. We've got one more question and I just lost it. No, I didn't lose it. Okay. Well, we are ending early, I guess. This has been what it really takes to trust yourself. And I think one of the hardest truths is this: trusting yourself is not, and it's never been about feeling fear or doubt. It's been about believing that even if things don't go perfectly, you'll still be okay. You'll still be able to learn from it, to face it, to move forward. Um, I think that's been a big thing for me, has been learning that things will be okay. The top gifter of this stream is Emoji J, and I really appreciate it. And your name will be up in lights on the scrolling marquee behind me for the week. Thank you to everybody who shared today and everybody in the comments and listening. I appreciate all the gifts. If you have enjoyed the show, please make sure that you come back for another episode of What It Really Takes next week. We will be talking about uh, what it really takes to, if I can get this up, keep going when it gets hard, which is a difficult one because I
Can
know
you
for
say
me,
the topic again? I didn't hear you.
to keep going when it gets hard.
Oh, that's gonna be a nice one.
Yeah, we're going to be talking with Dab and Scorpion and Tiger Untamed. And I love Dab and Scorpion to death, but she has some of the worst luck. But she just keeps rolling with the punches. And she's going to be amazing on the show.
A wise person once told me, I don't know if it was a wise thing for them to say. Um, if you ain't got bad luck, you ain't have no luck.
Exactly. 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 If it weren't for bad luck, I would have no luck at all.
Oh, amen to that.
Well, thank you both for being here, and I will talk to you all later.
Bye. Thank you for letting me be on your
Bye.
show again.
Thank you. Have a good week, y'all.